This is Sligachan campsite. That's the Sligachan Hotel. Leaving the Sligachan Hotel, we're going to cross this old stone bridge. We're going to turn right and head on a pass that takes us through the red and the black Coolins. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Are you excited?
Yes, very.
Let's do this. Welcome to Glen Sligachan. That's what we're walking through, or will be. That's looking back at the Sligachan Hotel and the campsite as we take our first few steps on the Skye Trail, stage 5, Sligachan to Elgol. The path starts off really well defined. It looks like the sun's going to come out. It's going to be a beautiful day. There's the sun rising just behind that part of the hill, the mountain there. Hey, that is the sun out now. Bright. No. Can't see anything ahead of me. 1.9 miles after the Sligachan campsite, you get to this wonderful little camp spot here just before this stream crossing. And if you didn't want to stay at the Sligachan campsite, and let's face it, it's really difficult to get your pegs in there. Really difficult. This would make a great little camp spot. And we are walking through the Coolins, as I've said, and this is a good spot to see. To the left of us we have the red Coolins, and to the right of us we have the more jagged black Coolins. So Lisa,
Yes.
if we were to climb over there,
Yes.
and drop down, we'd get to the fairy pools, where the last battle on Skye was fought between the MacLeods of Dunvegan and the MacDonalds of Sleat.
Yay!
where the MacDonalds of Sleat were victorious. It was a bloody battle, but it was the last battle between the two clans on the Isle of Skye. So now we're going to the MacLeods, the MacDonalds,
McDonald's.
and then they got Duntullum Castle as a result.
Ah.
And we're now going to cross these stepping stones and continue our path through the Coolins. This is awesome. Can't hear any traffic. Breathing fresh air. The only sounds you can hear is me babbling on, and the occasional sound of the river, which is the River Sligachan there. And we just heard cows in the distance. We can see tinges of red on the red Coolins on our left. And we're 2.7 miles in, and just at the base of these black Coolins here, which in the sun look a bit red, there is this great little camp spot here as well. Flat ground, it's not rocky, there's a few rocks there to mark the spot. That's where we've come from. So yeah, I would probably prefer this campsite to the one previously mentioned at 1.9 miles in.
A good river source here as well.
Good water source, yeah. River Sligachan just to your right. At about 4 miles in, the path leads you to this cairn just here. And if you take the right path down that way. That's going to take you up, I don't know if you can see it, up there to the mountains and down to something called the Bad Step. But we're not going to do the Bad Step. We're going to carry on the main path here towards the bothy. And so far the path has been really nice. It's been a gradual up, gradually been going up. It's been well maintained. It's a solid path, you can't get lost. As long as you get on the right path, you're laughing. Awesome. Well done. Yes.
Pick up step for my little nuggies.
We're 5 miles in. It's taken us about just over 2.5 hours. So we're doing about 2.5 miles an hour, which is quite good. And there's a little lake over there, a little bit of water. We're going to see if there's somewhere around the other side of that to stop for a cup of coffee. We are going to drink the whole of this bottle of Drambuie and then carry on hiking. Every last bit of it we're going to drink. Oh yeah. Kettle's boiled. Got some coffee in our cups. Now a wee dram. And then get on our way. But that's not a bad place to stop for a cuppa, is it? How's it taste? Yeah, good one?
Oh gosh, that is so nice.
Well, I'm no expert, Lisa, but that tastes to me like a unique blend of aged Scotch whiskies and spices, and I would say there's some heather honey in there, I would say.
That's a very
It's
accurate.
It's rather
tasting.
delicious.
It's rather delicious.
I'm going to zoom in on this later, but there is a tree halfway up that hill and another one to the right of it. Just underneath the spot where we had our tea break, our coffee break. You ready? Right, over that way. So at this moment, map girl, tell us where we are.
So we've just had our lunch here by Loch Athane, and we're just walking down here now, following the river Sligachan, and then we're going to get to this loch. We can just see it. Loch na Creathich. Creathich?
Well pronounced.
But you can just see, you zoom in.
So we've just got first glimpses of Loch na Creathich.
Creathich, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay. Right, you ready? Mm-hmm. There we go. We're shadow hikers.
To the size of your pack.
Thank you. Look where we've come from. And then as we approach the loch, you can see a gorgeous little beach down there. walking into the sun. We're walking south. That's the midday sun. There's some nice picnic spots along the left side of this bank of this loch. Where you're standing right now, Lisa, that would make a nice little spot to sit down for a bit, wouldn't it? There's been a few slabs like that. Very nice indeed. A nice little beach here that would allow you to easily go in there for a dip if you wanted to. You've got these big slabs of rock you've got to walk over or walk around just before you get to the beach at the end of the loch. We've just reached the end of the loch. And we're just walking along the beach here. And look what we've got here at the end. Look, Lisa, the only thing that's missing is a big signpost saying, "Please camp here." Camp spot this way. That's incredible. Cracking. I think we've just walked Glen Sligachan and it's been one of the nicest day hikes ever. On a par with the Kona Glen, which is equally lovely. A great path, can't really get lost. That is Cicerone Bay. And the first building we come to is a private house. Second one we come to is the bothy. So we're at the end of the trail that takes you to Cicerone Bay. And there's this house here that's private, so this isn't the bothy. That's a private house. And this isn't the ocean, this is a loch. This is sea loch. And our path now takes us along here to the bothy. Right, we've arrived at the bothy at Cicerone Bay. We don't know if anyone's in.
It's open.
It's open, that's a good sign. So we're going for our first impressions. Well, it looks like someone's got some gear here already. Should let them know that we're here. Or not. Okay. So this is the bothy. It's a good one. Just outside the bothy, there looks like a couple of good camp spots. Here's one in particular. And people have had a fire here. Walking away from the bothy, there's about 20 paces of bog, and then you start to climb up. Walking into the evening sun. If wild camping high up is your thing, there's a brilliant spot here.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, really nice.
I'd say much nicer than staying in the bothy.
This little bit of path gets a little bit more cliff edgy, and you wouldn't want to slip up and take a tumble down there. But that does look like a fine camp spot down there. we've chosen our camp spot. We're pitched by a little stream that's flowing into the loch, so we can filter from that when we need some. We've got hills all around us, there's a gentle breeze, there's no midges. It's a glorious spot, we're the only ones here. It took us about 50 minutes to get here from the bothy. The sun is going to set over there in probably about half hour, 40 minutes. There's 1 or 2 fire pits already made around here, so we don't have to make a new one. And that's us. Living the dream. Might even sleep with the doors open. This is a natural beach here in the Isle of Skye, with loads of stuff washed up on the beach. Loads of bits of plastic, buckets, loads of driftwood, and even this, I don't know if you can see it, it's a dead seal. So that's been sitting there for quite some time and decomposed. And we're just beachcombing now, looking for some firewood. That's our Scottish Highlands sunset over there. We've got a little fire going. We got ourselves a couple of hot chocolates. A bit of brandy in it. Cheers. An hour later, I think we've burnt all the driftwood on the beach.
We still haven't had lunch.
No, we're
Dinner?
about to have our dinner. And we just met a lovely couple walking along the beach late at night. They stopped and sat by our fire for a bit.
Yeah.
And now they've mooched off on their way to Elgol. In the dark, fair play to them. I don't fancy that right now. Okay, so dinner, 2 sips of brandy, bed. Good night, world.
So from the campsite here at Sligachan, you cross over the road to the hotel, and the path just begins after the hotel. It's a nice, flat, well-marked path all the way, really. It's a great path and beautiful sights. Got a couple of camp spots along the way. It's amazing to walk in between the red and black coolings and following the river all along here. At this junction you have a choice. You can either turn down this path, which would take you to the Bad Step around here, or you can do what we chose to do and come along this way and around the locks. It's a bit boggy here. Lovely spot for lunch. We stopped here, little beach by this lock, and then moving on to the bigger lock, which again is beautiful. Good path, a few camp spots around there, and then coming along here to the bothy. We decided not to stay in the bothy, it was too early. We carried on around this edge, which was a bit scrambly, right on the cliff edge, so some really steep drops here, but it wasn't too difficult. Just need to be careful. And then we got a pitch just here, again in a dip down, so protected from the wind and fantastic sights. So that's where we are for the night.